Gobble, 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 gobble. All right, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Fowl Territory 354. I am your cordial host, Gizzard Gary, and it is Monday, April the 13th. So welcome, 2 days until tax day. I hope you got yours done. I got mine done today. Haha. So anyway, how is everybody? Glad to have you. Let's see who we got out there in the chat so far. I see J Delta 22NC is out there along with Packrat's addict, Ms. Packrat, Alaska One, Andy, and the Wonder from Down Under, TJ Fishing and Shooting is out there. Ron 2A Matters, who was just live earlier this evening, is out there. And scrolling down the list, I see Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy is there. Ozzy Orsborn barking at the moon, he's here. Alex Parlin is in the audience, as is Guns and Barbecue, who is out there and waiting in the back, and Boomstick.
Don't lie to them.
In the audience. I couldn't keep that secret. I mean, they expect me to ruin the chat before we even go live. So, yeah. Ozzy says, I got my taxes done Friday. Well, good deal. So, all right. Yeah, we got a heck of a crew out there. So let's bring the panel in. Let's say hello to everybody tonight. And the first panelist in this evening comes to us. Actually, they both come from the Keystone State. And there you go.
Let's say you did premature there, premature.
But Rich no longer lives there. He now lives in the valleys of West Virginia, where he is the host of This Week Unloaded on the Unloaded Media channel, and occasionally does videos, at least one a year. So everybody say hello to your friend and mine, the lovely Rich White.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yay.
Ooh.
Yay. We're glad to have you. Hillbilly Up is out there. All right. So let's go on to the guy who still lives in the Keystone State. What can you say about this guy that hasn't already been said? I mean, just about everything has been said about this guy, good or bad.
Mostly bad.
The chat ruiner. Gosh, what else do you call him? Let's see. He shoots. He barbecues. He's
Most
a
people,
photographer. Yes.
I was going to say, most people call me names of phallic symbols and that thing that everybody has. Try to keep it rated G here.
That's true. But anyway, he also does a live stream on Thursday nights called whatever the hell this is, or whatever he decides to call it that week. Sometimes he puts me on the thumbnail. Other times he puts himself or something other. You never know. You never know what you're going to get with his show. But anyway, Guns and Barbecue is with us. Good evening.
Good evening. I should go back and see how many views that show got with you being on the thumbnail.
I'm sure that really increased your viewership having me on there. Ozzy says
that was actually a pretty popular show.
It was.
As far as my standards go.
Speaking of taxes, Ozzy says, it's a good time to be 65. Yeah, I noticed that too. That was pretty damn sweet. That senior discount on the income taxes comes in damn handy. I liked it. So I put it off to the last minute, but I really shouldn't have. I'm getting a refund, so no big deal. No big deal. But I just hate doing it. I just hate doing taxes. And I always do my own. That's just always have. So it is what it is. So what's going on out there? We got bad weather up in the Minnesota area. I see all the storm chasers were up there in Minnesota, Iowa, and we had some bad tornadoes come through just north of me earlier. In fact, where my indoor range is up in Ottawa, Kansas, they had a pretty good sized tornado go through there. I guess did some damage. So I hope everybody is safe. Hillbilly says Uber Eats lady saved $11,000 in taxes. That's great. Damn. Need to have her do my taxes. There you go. All right, so what's going on, guys? What's going on in the news? I mean, Rich had a show last night where he talked about some stuff.
You just want to do a rerun of my show?
No, not necessarily, but I don't know if we can spend an hour talking about the Pirates and the fact that they're actually playing decent ball this year, which was your first suggestion. So
yeah, it looks like it looks like management's actually willing to spend money this year. That new kid that I talked about, the 19-year-old, they just gave him a pretty lucrative 9-year contract extension.
Now, if you want to see something interesting about baseball, there's a YouTube channel. I don't know if any of you subscribe to him. The guy's name is Brody Brazil. He's on the West Coast, and he's got a fairly popular YouTube sports channel. And he did a video today on baseball teams and the cost of their payroll versus how many games they won last year, and broke it down to the cost per game. That's pretty interesting. Take a look at that sometime. But yeah, still, let's see. Last I knew, the Royals are still 2 games under 500. Still haven't come up with a plan for a new stadium yet. So may or may not even have them in KC in the 5 years from now. Who knows? They may end up in Nashville. Who knows? So Alex Parlin says no tax on tips. Yeah, I didn't get any tips this last year. I don't think super chats count.
It should, in a way, that is a tip.
It should, really should count.
Yeah, it should count.
TJ Fishing and Shooting says, only tips over here, don't use Remington Subsonic and don't cross the road if I'm driving. There you go. Those are good tips. For sure. I guess I ought to start the banner because we do have a giveaway later on in the show. The usual swag giveaway. There'll be some stickers of mine, a lot of DM Foss's stickers. In fact, the majority of them come from DM Foss. At least one comes from Ron Wayne and one comes from Ron 2A Matters. And if I find anything else miscellaneous, I'll throw that in there. There will be a couple patches in there also, maybe a bumper sticker. And if you're a channel member, I'll even throw in a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card for my appreciation. And lots of people out there are channel members. So better than average chance of a channel member winning. That's a chance I take. Hashtag FT354. # FT354 on all 3 platforms. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. So hello out there to all you viewers, if there are any out there on Twitch and Rumble. I barely remember to schedule Rumble at the last minute.
You guys want to know a fun fact?
What's that?
If you shoot 9mm, you take the tip.
Just the tip?
That's up to the 9mm shooter. Some of them get pretty greedy.
That's true.
They get just a tip, and next thing you know, they want it all. It's like, wow.
I see. We got Denny's Plant-Based Journey is in the audience. one of our resident Texans. So him along with the Pack Rats. We got lots of Texans in here. We usually always do. And I got Ken down in Texas, so it's all cool. We got out on Rumble. We have Kenai Don.
Nope.
I believe is how that's pronounced. That's Alaska, another Alaska person. Yeah. I've seen him on YouTube before, so welcome. Good to see we have somebody out there on Rumble. Good to see Rumble's actually working. I wasn't sure since I set it up the very last second, but evidently it's working. Listening in and lurking. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So, and yes, you can win the giveaway and live in Alaska. It's still part of the United States. So I have mailed to Alaska before. Alaska won. Andy can attest. He's won a couple times. So now, if you're in Canada, on the other hand, you're screwed. I don't mail to Canada. So
why would you want to? It's Canada.
I'm not paying postage to international postage. I'm not doing it. Sorry. Vanessa Kitty is out there. We've got 18 people. Not a big crowd, mind you, but a good crowd. So, yeah, I don't know where everybody is. Maybe they're all asleep. We didn't have very many watch the show last week. Maybe nobody wants to watch stuff on Monday night, or maybe they just don't like Fowl Territory. You suppose that's possible?
Well, you do have a lot of 9mm shooters that watch this, and this time of night is a great time to take the tip, I hear. So they'll probably be flooding in here in the next 45 minutes or so.
Sorry, I got distracted. I had a text from my daughter. What did you say again, please?
Oh, I was just talking about how most of your audience is made up of 9mm shooters, and this time of night is ideal for taking the tip. So that's probably what they're doing, but I'm sure they'll be flooding in by 10 p.m.
Well, don't diss my audience, what little I have left. I know you're the chat ruiner and all that, and you do have a reputation.
I have to uphold it.
I guess there's that. Boomstick says, I suppose shipping to Alpha Centauri is completely out of the question. I don't know. I don't know that you can get delivery to Alpha Centauri. I don't know how you'd address it.
It's only 4 light years.
Backrat Addict says 9 silly meter. Denny says, Gizzard Gary, he said that he has to compensate for something using a larger caliber. Oh! Shots fired. I think he's aiming at you.
Yes. Yeah, I think you were the target there.
I'm not worried because he's shooting 9mm, so his aim is terrible anyways.
You're talking about Texan here. You sure you want to tangle with a Texan?
I say
oil man? Come on now.
I'm 100% sure because everything's bigger in Texas. I say every guy there is overcompensating.
Oh boy.
That's right. I say, and everybody ain't no real cowboys from Texas. And say
I'll send Denny a link if he wants a link. Get him in here.
You should do it.
I don't have any problem whatsoever. Vanessa Kitty says 44 meg is your most fun cartridge. Kanai Dawn says
absolutely.
10mm here.
I like that one too.
Brown Bears, etc. Hillbilly says Chick-fil-A, a gift card probably wouldn't be any good in Canada. That's probably right. Vanessa Kitty says my Kunin 357 mag is always in my carry rotation too. TJ Fishing and Shooting says I would love to hear what he thinks of 22 pistol shooters.
Oh, they're fine. Not metric.
Denny says you can handle my light work. Wow.
I wish I was light.
If a Canadian one,
was that Rich?
I was gonna say if a Canadian one, they'd want something like a Tim Hortons or something gift card.
Oh yeah,
something off the wall, weird thing.
Tim Hortons, eh? I'm sorry. Oh, enough about that.
Texas is
Did
just
you
South
say a
Canada.
boot?
I said,
What a booty!
it's not
What
a
a booty!
booty. It's a really big shoe.
What a booty, eh?
We got Canadians out. If we had Canadians out there, they probably all left by now. So screw that guy.
Yeah, Ozer.
First they beat us in hockey, and now they insult us in their live streams. TJ Fishing and Shooting says, I carried a 9mm in the Army. It had a burnout barrel. It was only accurate when thrown. Nice. Nice.
The M9s in the U.S. military weren't in much better shape than that.
Stuff in the Army tends to get shot and not maintained real well, I'm sure. Need to go back to 1911s.
Some of the M9s were 40 years old. And still in service.
There's a lot of good 1911s out there. Mm-hmm. If there's a demand for them in the Army, I guarantee a Colt would gear up in a heartbeat. Vanessa Kitty says, my issue sidearm in the USAF was the Smith & Wesson 629 with the 8 3/8 barrel. Veterinary tech. Well, you got to have something to shoot them with, I guess.
If that's when she was stationed in Alaska, it might have been for bear control.
Yeah, that's probably a valid point. If you want to enter the giveaway, hashtag FT354. Yes, we're still doing this stupid show because I haven't thought of a real good reason to quit yet. But I mean, Rich is still doing his show. So Packrat says, all I got was an M16 in the military. If I quit doing live streams, I wouldn't have any content whatsoever. Vanessa Giddy says, large animal, we were the food health inspectors. Yeah, you need to inspect them once you shot them, that's for sure. Their health would not be good at that point, probably. Denny says, if you live in Canada, you have to add the new acronym after your YouTube channel name. MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA plus. Yeah. I think it's something like that anyway. Good Lord, I tell you. I tell you. So, did you hear? We went to the moon last week?
Well, we did a drive-by.
We did a drive-by, a flyby. We did a slingshot around the moon. Furthest men have ever traveled from planet Earth. And returned home safely. I actually did watch Splashdown.
They went literally 1% further. 1.5%.
1.5%. They went a little overboard, but hey, they were enjoying the ride. So there was some concern about the heat shield tiles, but evidently everything was fine there. So,
there's only a 1 in 30 chance that they wouldn't survive.
I think anytime there's space travel, there's always a chance they won't survive. There's so many variables involved in that. They did have some minor issues, most notably with the toilets that were out of commission for about 24 hours before they got a space plumber to send them instructions on how to repair the toilets. So, yes, they did have contingency plans. They had the backup bags, the old style bags that they used in previous missions and stuff like that. So, despite all the people on X saying that it was, well, actually, I popped into Georgia Shooting Connection and told them about the splashdown, to be promptly told by Scotsman that it's all CGI, folks. And people on X, they said this didn't happen. All the pictures are fake. It's all smoke and mirrors and stuff like that. You believe what you want to believe, but
Well,
yes.
what do you guys think of the Earthrise photo?
Oh, some of the photos were absolutely wonderful.
I'm gonna say, it would be impossible to stand on the moon and see Earthrise. The only reason they were able to get that photo is because they were going behind the moon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a super cool photo when they zoomed in on it like that. We have Gun Websites has gifted 5 Gizzard Gary memberships. Thank you very much.
He does that a lot. He's a good fellow.
So
that or he's padding his chances.
Looks like Vanessa Kitty, Degustalanders, Heavy Daisy, Ting Ting. I remember Ting Ting. Hi, Ting Ting. And Gerald Muir all received gift memberships. So thank you. We also have Kentucky Rimfire Justin is out there. Plus the aforementioned people who some we didn't know they were out there. Two Life Moo is out there in the audience. He says, Gary destroys toilets even in space. I didn't do it. I swear, I did not do it. Vanessa Kitty says, did you see that the earth is not flat? Yeah, and the people on X are saying, that's a fisheye lens. That's what caused that. I'm like,
no, it wasn't.
I give up.
They were using an 80 to 400. They also had a 24 to 70 up there with them. The 80 to 400, that's such an old lens.
Denny says there are a lot of misled people. One of the men in particular has a connection, and I trust his word and integrity. Yes.
Also,
go ahead.
I was going to say, if it was a fisheye lens, it wouldn't make the Earth appear round. It would distort the edges and make it appear wider.
And speaking of Canadians, we had a member of the Canadian Space Force that was among the crew of Artemis 2. Very interesting.
Probably the one that broke the toilet.
Probably.
You guys have indoor plumbing here, eh?
Backrat Static says, okay, I have a question for everyone. How many people in the chat can say they have seen the recent launch and Apollo missions? I can.
I believe I was alive during the last Apollo mission.
Theoretically, I can say I've seen it because repeat. He didn't say anything about watching it live.
I can remember all the way back to Apollo 8, let's put it that way, which was pretty much the equivalent of this mission. In that Apollo 8, they actually traveled to the moon and slingshot around and came home. Actually, they orbited a few times and then came home in Apollo 8. So, but yeah, definitely. Ozzy says it was AI. Okay. Dale Pogue is out there, by the way. Packrat's Attic member anniversary. He has been a member for 8 months. Well, you know what happens when somebody puts an anniversary out there. We have to celebrate.
Nope. Yep.
Well, why is my music all messed up? Hold on a second. We got a problem here. Huh. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Here we go. Never mind. Haven't seen Calamity out there yet tonight, so let's see. The Backrat says, run, Oscar. Also, Ron 2A Matters has been a member for 27 months. Yeah, Oscar, you better run all right. That's for sure. So, Kentucky Rimfire Justin says, Earth is round. Take my word for it. You actually don't even have to go that far up to be able to tell that. Matter of fact, if you've actually been on a plane that's flying at several 20, 30,000 feet, you can pretty much tell right then and there.
No, they'll just say that's the funny windows on the plane.
Well, that probably is, or it's a refraction.
I mean, they come up with excuses why there's a horizon other than the Earth being round, for crying out loud.
But Vanessa Kitty says, I'm trying to fly space available to Elmendorf Air Force Base once again before the end of this decade. Kanai Don says, any sailors know? Yeah, you would think so.
Mm-hmm.
You would think if you've ever seen a fairly tall ship sail off onto the horizon and see it eventually disappear from view. Kentucky Rimfire Justin says, I was 800 feet up parasailing 5 miles out at sea. I saw the curvature. Danny says, and change of night and day and seasons, etc. You really have to be deceived to believe the Earth is flat. Well, I don't want to insult anybody who has certain beliefs out there. I just reserve the right to think you're wrong. But Mr. Bob Dabalina is out there. By God.
I have no problem insulting people that think the Earth is flat. You're idiots.
Yeah, you're a moron if you think the Earth is flat.
Wow. Of course, as always,
That's why Gary has us on the panel.
The opinions voiced by the panelists on this show are the opinions of this panelist only, and not the opinions of Gizzard Gary and/or Gizzard Gary Productions Incorporated or anyone else. Well, I don't know about that. Denny says doofus. Wow. I'm trying to be diplomatic here, folks. Okay. I'm trying not to start fights.
Oh, I think Danny was calling you a doofus, Gary.
Oh, me? Well, he could.
Yeah. Shots fired.
I got thick skin. You called me. Well, he called you a doofus probably because you started trying to start a fight with him earlier. So
I
wasn't trying to start a fight with him, and say I can't help that he got butt hurt. Say because I dumped some truth on him that was bigger than the tip.
I think Kentucky Rimfire Justin just gave the ultimate evidence for the Earth being round.
If Earth was flat, cats would knock everything off the edge. That's true.
Mm-hmm. They absolutely would.
No, they wouldn't, because all the cats are at Rich's house, and he's nowhere close to the edge.
Packrat says one more thing is there's no such thing as gravity. The Earth sucks. Wow. Vanessa Kitty says, I just state you are extra special if you think the Earth is flat.
I can prove that the Earth doesn't suck. Because if it did, every guy in the friggin' world would just be digging a hole and sticking their junk in it.
Mr. Bob says, if the Earth isn't flat, how come Boomstick put a straight edge level on the ground and it touches at all points? Denny says, let's be clear, doofus was for anyone believing the Earth is flat. See, I don't have to insult anybody. I got plenty of other people who will do it for me.
I do like doofus, though. I haven't heard that one in a long time.
I presume that is the proper spelling of that word.
D-U-F-U-S?
Yes.
Yeah.
See? Not only is that a good one, he knows how to spell it. He's a smart guy.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if doofus is appropriate in this instance because Doofus on DuckTales knew that the Earth wasn't flat.
Yeah, but that's because he could fly.
Only with the super donut.
Sorry, I'm multitasking here. Trying to help my daughter out who is asking for a favor from her dad while he's trying to do a live stream. Kids, you know. That's an old Avatar saying. Okay. Vanessa says, just because one may be derpy, there's a word for you, derpy, does not imply they are a flat earther. And Moose says it's pronounced "do foss." Wow. Let's slam somebody who's not even here. Wow.
Let's say now shots were fired.
Shots were fired there.
Who said that?
Moo.
He would. He would.
Yeah. TJ says the Earth isn't flat; it has mountains. See?
It's just true.
See, we got
here's
believers and disbelievers out there. Go ahead.
Holy fuck! I'm going back inside. Sorry, didn't mean to say bad words, but I went outside because I was like, I think it's getting ready to storm or something, and I had been hearing thunder, but that friggin' flash of lightning was like directly over friggin' top of me.
That's not good.
I don't know what the hell that was because it didn't thunder after it.
You sure you don't have a drone flying up above with a flash?
If so, they just took a photo of me.
No. You weren't naked, were you?
No. I say I'm live on air. I say not porky piggin'.
You ain't got a camera on.
But what the fuck is going on? I'm sorry, I did it again. But I've got what looks like lightning off to my east, but the thunder's coming from way up north. That is friggin' weird.
Interesting. Kentucky Rimfire Justin says high energy weapon, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Grim Reaper reviews out there. He says, "Damn, he missed." Now Vanessa Kitty threw in there, and derpy llamas are the coolest. That's true. Justin says we might be getting nuked. Gosh, I hope not. Boomstick says if the Earth was round, all the water would run to the bottom.
Yes, but if it was flat, it would all fall off the edge. You know, water seeking lowest point possible and all that.
What was it? So they challenged somebody that was talking to the astronauts. They said, prove the Earth is round, take a picture of the bottom of the Earth and show the upside down buildings down there. So they actually did. It's pretty funny.
If you were big enough where the Earth would be the size of a cue ball, with going from the deepest point of the Earth that we know of to the highest point, so from the Challenger Deep all the way up to the top of Everest, and if you were an alien that was that large to hold the Earth like a cue ball, the Earth would be smoother than any cue ball ever machined. So when we think, yep.
We're going to try something new because StreamYard has something new. It's called an on-screen poll that you can do. See, can't do that in Rumble Studio, can you, Reg?
Yeah, you can use YouTube's polling system.
No, this is separate. So check this out. Now let me put it on the screen. Now all you got to do is type a 1 or a 2 in the chat to vote. And you can do this on Rumble or on Twitch, on all platforms. Everybody can play in this. Is the Earth round or flat? 1, if you think the Earth is round. 2, if you think
want to be
the
ridiculed.
Earth is flat. Look at this.
Yes, but remember this way, everybody sees your vote.
Well, that's true. Except for the people out on Rumble, nobody can see them. Somebody voted 2. Oh, G-Webs did. Moo voted 3.
So did Dale.
There's an 8 from Boomstick. Wow. Ozzy says 1, 2, 1, 2. G-Web says, you ever seen a round map? Yes, it's called a globe.
Yeah.
Or a Mercator projection. Take your pick.
I actually bought a small globe recently, and I put a string through it. That way, whenever one of my kids is being a self-centered little piece of crap, I now have them take and hold that string so the earth can revolve around them.
Now, it doesn't show you on screen the number of votes, but I see it on StreamYard. 13 votes for round and only 1 for flat so far. I wonder if you can vote more than once. Does it register? Somebody has voted. Vote again. See what happens. It's same thing.
Well, I just voted again.
Yeah, it didn't register. It counted already. I wonder if you change your vote, would it change?
Yeah, but if I change my vote, they'll make me look like an idiot.
Well, Moo put a 2 out there.
So Moo did it, but
I'm not sure it's really counting anything. It should be. It's still running. Yeah, I got 2 votes for flat. It's just taking its time. But I think round is going to win this. 6-7, Moo says. Go ahead and stop the poll, and then it it puts hashed lines through it when you do that. Okay, cool. I can hide it, and I can even bring it back up on screen. And I can create more than one, and I can create them ahead of time. So that's kind of cool. I just noticed that this week when we came in here that was available. So we'll have more fun with that later on, I'm sure. But anyway, I love your avatar picture there, Guns and Barbecue. Did you steal that from Artemis?
I did not. That one was taken by myself.
Really? That's a nice one.
Let's say
I have one I took one time during a lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
And I had a heck of a time. You had to put the camera on a tripod, of course, and then I had to really tweak the ISO settings to where it would get a good picture for me. But I ended up getting some really nice ones. Wonder if I can still find them. But that was years ago, way back in the 90s, I think. So whenever that was. So moon photography. Of course, you've got better equipment than most of us. So
yeah,
you've got the fancy lenses. It's got like 10,000 zoom and stuff like that, you know.
I don't know how much you technically say they zoom. No, say because my best zoom lens is my 150 to 600. So then you're only talking 4 times.
I was hoping you could get some pictures of previous moon landing spots so we could actually see the lunar modules. There are a few still on the moon's surface.
There are.
I believe 6 to be exact. 13s didn't make it for some reason.
You think NASA would learn, like, hey, like I know we know we're under the gun to get this launch off, but if we do, some really bad shit could happen.
Well, I don't think the problem with Apollo 13 wasn't so much with any hurry of getting it launched, was they had made some changes to the oxygen tanks and forgot to upgrade some of the circuitry that went with it. They had upped the voltage from like 17 volts to 60 volts. And some of the breakers in there were still 17. O-ring failed. I think we're talking about Challenger with the O-rings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Apollo 13. They had an oxygen cylinder that burst and basically took out the other cylinder in the process, or caused a leak in it. So they had very little left. Ended up having to, if you haven't seen the movie, if this is a spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Apollo 13, they end up having to hook up to the lunar module and use the oxygen from there to survive.
Well, even then, there wasn't enough oxygen in there to survive. They had to make a air scrubber from scratch.
Yeah, the problem was the filters that they had wouldn't fit the lunar module, so they had to rig up a solution using hoses and duct tape, I believe, to make it
Yeah,
all
because
work.
the big problem was the module was only made for 2 people, not 3.
And and they had shut off all the power to the command module because they didn't know what all, because thought they were losing fuel too, and they had lost battery power too as a result. So they had very little battery power, and they wanted to save it for re-entry or firing. As it turned out, they had to basically slingshot around the moon and then use the engine off the lunar module as a burn engine to correct the course, which had never been done before, and they had no way of doing it. It had to be done manually with a stopwatch. Yep. And they were just damn lucky. They were looking out the window to make sure they were lined up. That's how high tech that was, getting that thing home. Mm-hmm. And they did it.
That's NASA's one brag that they like to boast about, is they've never lost a man in space.
I lost him.
Getting there, on the other hand.
Yeah. The Russians have. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They've also lost a couple on re-entry.
Yeah, I was going to say they lost a couple in the ocean.
I didn't realize that there was a shuttle mission that they had to abort. One of the shuttle missions had to be aborted during takeoff, and they actually flew the thing back to Edwards. Columbia had the damage to a wing. This is from Denny. Had the damage to a wing from the stuff falling off during launch. We could hear it and see the debris and trail when it fell over this part of Texas, about halfway across Texas.
Wasn't that that's parts of its heat shield?
Burned up. Yeah, burned up in re-entry. Yeah. That's horrible. And then let's not forget Apollo 1. Of course, most of us aren't old enough to remember Apollo 1. But they were doing testing on the launch pad with the astronauts in the capsule before launch, like a day or two before launch, testing some of the systems. Had a fire inside the command module, couldn't get them out in time. Lost 3 astronauts.
I was actually really worried that when the cancel culture was at its full swing, that people would realize that Werner von Braun was a Nazi. And be like, well, we got to cancel NASA now. And be like, no.
No,
How do you think we got so far along in our space program?
Yeah.
Because of the people that we got from.
We went, hey, you can go to the Nuremberg trials, or you can come do cool stuff for us.
Same people we had to help us out during the Manhattan Project and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there were people that did throw a fit when they found out that we were using Nazis for stuff. But both sides did it. The Soviets did it, and us.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we basically just went and had a draft like it was a friggin' sports team. I want this one. All right, your guys' turn. We want that one. All right.
So there was, I don't know if you saw it during some of the conversations with the astronauts during Artemis 2, they had a stuffed animal on board, a plushie. I forget what the name of it was, but it's kind of the mascot. And the commander ended up sneaking this thing off of the ship when he landed, and he has it now. But evidently, a lot of people in America have fallen in love with this, so they've been pestering NASA to start making these. So they're looking at having them made and selling them. See if I can find the name for that thing. It's called Rise. It looks like a moon wearing a hat, basically, with a smiley face on it. Let me find a picture here, and I will share it with you. Okay, here we go. A little bit of GORN from me. How about that? So, my show, I guess I can do GORN whenever I want to, huh? So this is Rise. Look for this at a store near you someday. And evidently they had placed a flash drive inside of here. There's a Velcro cover on the bottom that they could insert a flash drive in there, and they had basically virtual names of a bunch of people who had went on a website and registered to have a memory of them taken to say that they flew aboard the Artemis 2. So there's a flash drive in there with hundreds of thousands of names on it. So yeah, look for that. But we have a member anniversary from Abigail Finnegan. Abigail has been a member for 43 months. Thank you. Packrat says it was a choice of either going to be a scientist or get hung. There you go. Packrat's Addict says we had a high school named after Virgil Grissom. Yeah, he was one of them that burned up in Apollo 1. Mr. Bob says Wally World has them for $13.95. They must be knockoffs because the official ones, NASA said they were looking at having them made. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Walmart doesn't have something similar right now that you could get. I'm sure they'll be available online. Kind of like the U.S. hockey jerseys after the Olympics, which whatever company that made those had basically ran out and didn't have them for sale, but there were plenty of companies that come up with them anyway that were making knockoffs. So
yeah, the old Virgil there, he survived Mercury only to die during Apollo.
He did. All right, so that's more astronaut talk than we normally have here.
Yeah.
But we got all kinds of other things to talk about too. One of those is gear websites, because they're your source for every second matters, gun channels, gear, ammo, ID, and more. Patches, stickers, and other items. And every Friday is Free Patch Friday. Buy cool stuff at gearwebsites.com. I wonder if they'll be talking about that in the future. Gary. Hi, everybody. This is Gizzard Gary. I want to remind everybody that Gear Websites is your source for every second matters, gun channels, gear, ammo, ID, and more. They have patches, stickers, and other items. And every Friday is Free Patch Friday. So make sure and free buy patches, cool stuff at gearwebsites.com. Oh, and live long and prosper. Love it. Love it. Packrat's Addict says, I was named after Scott Carpenter. Dale Pogue says, astronaut Owen K. Garriott is from my hometown. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, let's do something else. Do you feel like doing something a little out of the ordinary? Is it one of those nights? Would it be time for a visit from this guy?
Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you. Large prostate won't slow him down, chasing grandmas all over town. Got a sidekick named George the Cat. Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you.
All right. So, it is time for the Fowl Territory prize giveaway. There's the hashtag on your screen. I'll give you another minute or two to enter. Hashtag FT354. You can enter on all three platforms, YouTube, Rumble, or Twitch, wherever you happen to be watching. Denny said there were also a lot of people who died during test flights and prep long before they ever fired a rocket. I just Googled, and 21 NASA astronauts died in flight, 8 to 11 in training, plus cosmonauts too. Over 50 test pilots have died as well. Wow. Puts
Back in the early days when they were launching the Mercury and Saturn rockets, those things, holy cow. You had to have balls of steel if you were getting into one of those.
You're basically strapped to the front of a ICBM for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
If you ever want to watch a good movie, if you haven't seen it, there's a movie called, and this is me giving movie recommendations here. It's called The Right Stuff.
Oh,
Have
great
you seen
movie.
it, Rich? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
About the Mercury program.
Mm-hmm. Very good movie.
Very good cast.
It's got the right stuff, baby.
Did they show actual footage of the rockets blowing up on the pad?
I think they did show some of that kind of stuff. They were pretty. And some of the testing they had to go through and stuff, some of the chairs they strapped them in and put them underwater and junk like that. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, and how Yeager was denied for the astronaut program was in the movie and everything.
Mm-hmm. Then he said, yes, great movie. All right. So I think it's time to go ahead and draw a winner this evening. As I said before, if you're just coming in here, I'm giving away a set of stickers, some of which are mine, one of Ron Wayne's, one of Ron 2A Matters, and the rest come from our good friend DM Foss, who was good enough to give me his entire sticker collection. So I'm going to pick, I've got a bunch of them that we give away in every one. Then I'm going to pick some of his special ones and throw in there for you too. So, yeah, and if you're a channel, and some patches, you're going to get patches, maybe a bumper sticker. And if you're a channel member, you'll get a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card if you win tonight's drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's right. So let's go ahead. You know how we do this. First, we got to get the drum roll, and then we hit the button. All right. The moment you've been waiting for. Let's see who tonight's winner is. 2 Live Moo. Now, if you remember, the winner does have to be present after his name is called. So, 2 Live Moo, are you out there in the chat? You were just here a minute ago. And he is out there. He says, whoop. Congratulations. You are the winner. And you are also a channel member. So you are a winner chicken dinner. Ha 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 ha. I get to say that. All right. Very, very cool. Well, congratulations to Live Moo. Thank you for watching. I'll have that stuff out to you here soon. He's been a channel member for quite a while now. So, yeah, very cool indeed. So, need to get that comment off the screen, and then I need to change a few things here because it is time to do something a little different here. Maybe I should play you a movie that'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's do that.
Let's all go to the email. Let's all go to the email. Let's all go to the email and find ourselves some GORN.
Woo! All right, so it is time for Show Us Your GORN. Send your GORN to GORN, GORN, at gizzardgary.com. If you do so, please include your channel name so I know who you are and I won't have to read your email address out loud on the chat because I don't want to do that and give out people's real names and stuff like that. If you are a member of my Discord, it's free, by the way. You can post it in the GORN channel on my Discord. If you want to join my Discord, the address is down there in the banner running down at the bottom of the screen. All right. So show us your GORN. Let's see if we have any GORN. And we do. This first GORN is from Mr. Bob Dabalina. And this is plushy search results. Wow, look at this. All ready for sale. Somebody's imitated them. I mean, how hard would it be to make a stuffed white ball with, you could copy the eyes and the hat. This one here is just stitched on. This one looks a little better. None of these are official, by the way, but yes, they are available out there. Well, very cool. Gotta love it. I do not have any other emails at the moment, so I'm going to check my Discord. It is discord.gizzardgary.com. Let me see. Now, I do have this. It's not necessarily new, but I've got a couple from DM Foss over the last couple days. So let's go ahead and put them on. This first one is a little PPK. 380. Not a 9mm. You like it or dislike it? Wouldn't be the most fun thing to shoot, I don't. I hear they're not fun to shoot at all.
Well, yeah. I'm not a fan of the 380 PPK. The 32 ACP PPK is a much different.
Oh, that's the OG. Yeah.
Which they make again, by the way. And that's actually the Bond gun, not the 380.
Does Walther make it, or did they license it out to somebody?
That's Walther. No, it's Walther making it.
And then he had this. Every time I visit my FFL, evidently his FFL, anytime he mentions something, his FFL says, let me look. I think I have one here. So he has an enabling FFL.
Lost Barbecue.
I didn't kick him out. I swear I didn't. Oh, I see something in the private chat. He said he'd be right back. Okay. He had something he had to go do. 9mm Kurtz Pack Rats Addict says. He is correct. Mr. Bob says, what? I won GORN? You did. G-Web says, is that the new Walther 6.7? Maybe.
But if you don't have any more GORN, I have an update to a story I talked about last night.
Well, we got time, so go ahead.
If anybody who watched my show last night remembers, we were talking about the situation with Eric Swalwell, about how he has dropped out of the California governor's race and how there have been calls for him to also drop from Congress. There have been numerous members of the U.S. House of Representatives from both parties today posting on X that there will be a joint resolution filed in the House of Representatives this week to remove him from the House of Representatives.
Wow.
For those of you who don't know, he has been accused of rape by a former staffer and other sexual misconduct from other staffers. Plus, he's also been caught up in one of the fraud scandals.
There's been some pretty scandalous stuff posted on X the last couple of days, too. Some pretty damning evidence of some things about him. Yeah, so. And wasn't he running for something else and then dropped out?
Yeah, governor. He was running for governor.
Yeah.
California.
So, yeah. He gonna be going bye-bye. That's a shame, isn't it? Not really. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more Gorn. Maybe it's just a one Gorn Monday. Who knows? Kind of a slow Monday. We only got 19 people out there, but Denny says, yep, he is toast. He is toast indeed. What else is going on in the world? Anything you can tell us? We can always go back to Gorn if some Gorn comes in. Whoop, just got Gorn in. Spoke too soon. Ozzy came through with some Gorn. I knew if I begged, I'd get something in here. So Ozzy said, pair of my early holsters. Okay, so this is some of Ozzy's early work. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize both those guns, as a matter of fact. I own both those guns, I believe, as a matter of fact.
I own one of them.
Well, I own something similar to the first one. That's
Is that
not a
Taurus?
Ruger. Mine's a Ruger, but
That a Taurus?
I have a snub nose 38. Let's put it that way. And that's a 365 on the right.
Yeah, I
Pretty
know
sure.
what that is.
Everybody has a 365, right? Some people have two. Well, I have two of them. Yeah. I have a 365 XL. Taurus 85. And I actually do own a Taurus 85. Mine is stainless. So, see, I do actually have that gun. Not that exact one, but I have an 85. Denny says, what do you mean A365? You're supposed to collect the whole set. He's not wrong.
Easy way to tell a Taurus. It looks like a Smith & Wesson, but it doesn't say anything on the side. On this side of it.
Why am I getting...
Huh?
Oh, I'm getting mail, but my counter's not changing. Oh, well. I've been having computer issues lately. I know. XIT guys having computer issues. Hey, I've been retired for a few years now, folks. And I never worked on Macs. So
Yeah. Denny's out there saying you got to have the whole set. Does he have the Flux 365? If not, then quiet, Denny. You don't got the whole set either.
Does he have the one with the sights that are set down inside the rail?
The SAS.
Yes. I almost bought one of those.
I did too.
Because it was really cool.
LGS had one.
Well, a lot of people who bought them didn't like them, but I thought it was pretty cool personally. So this is from Packrat. Packrat's Attic. He says, bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got a wrecker towing a wrecker. That's a bad day. For reals. That is a bad day indeed. Okay. So from Justin Grimm, or Grim Reaper Reviews, as we now refer to him. Well, we know his name because it used to be his channel name. Anyway, he sends us this and he says, I learned Smith & Wesson made a 38 special semi-automatic. Really? Smith & Wesson model 52-1 38 special. He's not kidding. A 38 special semi-automatic. Oh, I was today days old when I found that out.
Yeah. Must not have sold a lot of them, or been very niche.
Well, you'd have to make the grip pretty thick to accommodate that shell. Either that, or you'd have to really angle it in the mag.
It says it's a bullseye target.
Does anybody else make a 38 special semi? I don't know that I've ever seen one before.
Not that I can think of.
Damn. That's cool. Justin, Kentucky Rimfire Justin says that's a special 38 special. Denny says interesting. Yeah. That is super cool. Thanks for sending that. Now that's what I call GORN. Grim says they wanted 1,800 beans. Wow. Guns and Barbecue has returned. I got to put that back on the screen for him. Did you see what I just had on the screen?
I did not.
You got to see this.
Uh-oh.
It's worth putting back up for you. Because I'd never seen one of these before.
Ooh.
Take a good look at this.
Hold on. Let me zoom in. All right. I'm zoomed in.
Notice what that's chambered in? That's a Smith & Wesson Model 52-1. Chambered in 38 special. Semi-automatic. Really? I had never seen a semi-automatic chambered in 38 special before.
And they come with 3 mags, too. I don't know what's more interesting, the fact that it's in 38 special or the fact that it actually comes with 3 magazines.
Yeah, somebody ruined it by putting a red dot on there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was just thinking.
G-Web says that is classic GORN. Kentucky Rimfire Justin says Coonan made a 44 mag semi-automatic. Wow.
Yep.
It would only shoot wad cutters. It was for bullseye shooting. Okay.
I would like to get one.
Just from a collector's item alone.
Mm-hmm.
The ammo sitting there is interesting too. Wad cutters master match. It was a very limited run, Pack Rat's Attic said. I am going to have to check this out after this show and find out about this model gun. That intrigues me. I wouldn't pay that, but man, I would love to have something like that.
Yeah, when I saw the tag said bullseye target, I'm like, yeah, that had to have been a limited run. So there couldn't have been a whole lot of those made.
Wow. Super cool. You don't get GORN like that every day.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Well done. You won the interwebs this week, Grim Reaper Reviews. What does he get for that? My appreciation.
But it looks like he's the one that actually won GORN.
Oh, maybe so. I think he probably deserves this.
And Mr. Bob, sorry, but yeah, that definitely beats your plushie GORN.
We had some good GORN this week. We didn't have a lot of it, but what we had was pretty damn cool. Packrat says it was an M59 converted to 38. G-Web says, for what it's worth, if you look closely, that gun was being held together with a zip tie. I'd pass on it. I'm not sure that was actually holding it together. Very cool. All right. Well, let's see. And I think, yeah, that's probably going to be all the GORN we have today. So let's go ahead and let's do this. We're going to go to the last segment of our show. This is what we call What Did You Learn? And in this segment of the show, we ask all of our panelists, both of them in this case, what they learned during tonight's show. I'm pretty sure I know what you learned tonight. I know what I learned. And then what they got coming up on their channel. So, Rich, what did you learn?
Well, I'm probably going to steal everybody's and say I learned the Smith & Wesson made a 38 special
Yeah.
semi-automatic for target shooting.
100%. That was pretty much given. All right, so what have you got coming up?
Yeah, we do this show Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Unloaded Media channel on YouTube, Rumble, and X called This Week Unloaded. And you don't know what we're going to talk about on that show. Last night, we talked about how the DOJ is planning to sue the state of Virginia over their recent rash of gun laws and about the situation with Eric Swalwell out in California, among other things. So tune in Sundays and find out what we're going to talk about.
All the news that's not fit to print will be talked about on This Week Unloaded, for sure. Kentucky Rimfire says what he learned was the earth is round. GWeb says the round earthers cannot understand science. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here. As always, Guns and Barbecue, what did you learn?
I learned that Denny and Pack Rat have a great sense of humor.
Yeah. They
I
do.
mean, I feel like I already knew that, but it was confirmed.
Yeah. Nobody has paid, to this date, nobody has met your challenge of $100 in super chats to be kicked off the panel.
I know. Like, when GWebs does the gift super chat, how much is that? What does that come up for?
For 5 of them?
Yep.
He told me once.
Let's
See if he wants to share it or not. I've never bought gift memberships on a channel.
I wasn't sure if it showed the amount.
And it depends on the channel and what the tiers cost, because it basically has to be the first tier at $2.99 or above, I believe, which mine would be $4.99 in that case. So
yeah, see, GWeb's consistently doing his part, working out like $25, getting the show a quarter way there to get me off the panel. And saying if you had 20 people watching, that just makes it like what, $3-4 for them each at that point. Yeah, about $4.
GWeb says it depends on how many you gift. It's well under $1,000. Let's see. Denny says I tried. I gave half of it once, but nobody would match me. Oh well.
He did.
Sometimes people like pain.
Heck, I'm pretty sure I chipped in that night too. I was like, screw it, I don't want to be here.
Packrat.
They still didn't do it.
Packrat's Addict says after 30 years in EMS, believe me, you get a strange sense of humor.
Yep.
GWeb says, question, if the earth is round, then how come when you throw a paper airplane, it don't go all the way around the world and hit you on the back of the head? Gravity.
Velocity.
Yeah. But
or lack thereof.
Anyway, what have you got coming up, Barbecue?
We might do a show on Thursday. That's the plan.
A good one?
As good as last week's, I don't know. Let's say. Although I took what was probably a pretty darn good show, and holy cow, that bracket that I come up with, that was a little rough. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for being here. GWeb says round earthers magic answer to everything, gravity. Yep. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. So anyway, I'd like to thank my panelists. I'd like to thank everybody out there tonight for watching on the various platforms out there, YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. And thanks to everybody who sent in GORN Those who entered the drawing, congratulations to Live Moo, who is tonight's winner chicken dinner. That's right. So Wednesday night for my channel members, we have a special members only live stream. We do this every week, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central. I have a live stream an hour long just for my channel members, and we give cool stuff away on that. You might even win a pocket knife. So, yeah, come and check that out. We'll be back next week with another edition of Fowl Territory every Monday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Central. So that's my promise to you, because you are my favorite viewer. That's right, you. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for making this channel what it is. And if you don't like it, then it's your fault that it is what it is. How about that? I'll put it back on you. Not really. But anyway, we always try to do better. We'll try to do better next week. But we had fun tonight, as we always do. And as always, I'd like to leave you with one term of advice, and that is, if anyone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, give them the bird. That's what I say. I am Gizzard Gary. These are my panelists. We're all going to say good night, and then we're going to get out of here. That's
Good
your
night.
cue.
Get bent.
All right. See you next week.